Hi, this is JT Manava with Like Other Animals, a program that explains who people take after. Today we are traveling to the very edge of Europe. This is the very last piece of Portugal, with the Atlantic Ocean right behind me. The topics of our new season walk along the edge too. The new season is sponsored by Yota Mobile. Yota provides us with unlimited internet access anywhere and makes sure that we have something to watch on the internet. Today we will discuss how female whims rule the world, why all attractive women behave like males, and what would happen if men learned to give birth. If you want to know what a species should ideally look like, take a look at the female. She's perfectly adapted for survival. And now, take a look at the male of the same species. All of his differences from the female can't increase his chances to survive. Instead, they increase his chances to have sex. At any cost, and in spite of everything. Look at the peacock, for example. How can one grow such a flamboyant tail if one has the instinct for self-preservation? Or take the reindeer, one can easily lose one's head in the woods with such huge antlers. Or look at the lion. Why on earth should one sweat in such a mane? All these males look quite awkward. Nevertheless, evolution is still a very logical process. Sometimes this logic is female. This is how it works. Males of each species have secondary sex characteristics. By them, females determine the male's reproductive value. Secondary sex characteristics can vary, all they need is to be clearly visible. For example, great Argus pheasants have very long feathers on their wings. The logics of female pheasants: the longer the feathers, the healthier the male. So far so good, but watch what happens next. The offspring of this male, his sons, will inherit their father's long feathers. His daughters will inherit the preference for long feathers from their mothers. And the new generation of females will select males with the longest feathers of them all. And this will happen again and again. In this process, females act like professional breeders. They genetically pass on certain selection criteria to their daughters. As a result, male Argus pheasants have such long feathers that they can't fly anymore. They are easy to catch by any predator, and their lives are twice as short as females, but they're able to spread their feathers like that. That's what the girls like. Evolution is driven by two processes: natural selection and sexual selection. Natural selection ensures adaptation and survival, while sexual selection ensures mating success. Since sexual selection ensures reproduction, it can add any female whim into a gene pool. And females take advantage of that shamelessly. Their sense of beauty determines this crazy kaleidoscope of colors, textures, and looks. Animals don't have mirrors, and if a female wants to look at something beautiful, she has to adorn her male. Why do females order the males around? Some curious viewers may ask us. Because women have principles, namely the Bateman's principle. The sex that raises offspring becomes a limiting resource in the species and therefore can dictate terms to the opposite sex. If you want to take the upper hand, take care of your children. And the opposite sex will dance to your tune and satisfy all your whims. By the way, you don't have to be a female for that, as Bateman's principle works equally well for both sexes. Let's take the Wilson's phalarope. Their females are three-colored, while males are gray and dull. But it's the male who incubates eggs and cares for the young. Therefore, bright females are tripping over themselves to attract him. The male seahorse went even further and learned to get pregnant. The female lays eggs in a pocket on his abdomen. The male carries the eggs, gives birth to baby seahorses, and takes care of them. Females should fight for such a great husband. Well, they actually do fight. Sexual selection in the animal world is a very powerful force. But in the human world, it's even more powerful. Humans have almost defeated natural selection, so sexual selection is getting more important in our evolution. We already owe much to it. With the help of sexual selection, women have reduced the size of male canines, because they look kinder this way, have encouraged them to grow a beard because it's beautiful, have increased their penis size until it became the largest among primates, because, well, it's also quite beautiful. By the way, few people know it, but mankind has suffered a terrible loss in their evolution. A bone has disappeared from the human penis. Yeah, guys, you had it just a few million years ago. Our closest relatives, gorillas and chimpanzees, still have a baculum in their penis. But men lack this bone, as you've probably noticed. There is a theory that the boneless human penis is also a female whim. A strong hydraulic erection signals stable blood pressure and good health, and also romantic feelings. Mechanical erection only shows that you have a bone in your penis. The first option seemed much nicer to us. Sorry, guys. But our main achievement is that we have made men very intelligent. Because we adored smart men from the ancient times and we carefully selected them for this trait. In addition, we cultivated their generosity, care for others, courage, love for art, and even such delights as a sense of humor and wit. They are also results of sexual selection, as they indicate an absolutely irresistible combination of intellect and joyfulness. Yeah, we achieved a lot, but our men did a great job too. Their growing contribution to the upbringing of children gave them the right to put forward their own demands. First of all, they cultivated our breasts and buttocks. Females of other primates don't have that, because they have no reason to pamper their males. Then, men began to customize our faces, bodies, thoughts, decorations, and their ability to cook borscht. So we owe all of our natural and unnatural feminine charms to the male sexual selection. Moreover, in some cultures, men have become so indispensable that they have turned into a limited resource in the species. Now women have to grow their feathers to attract the male attention. And women grow, decorate, tighten, color, enlarge, and demonstrate. They compete with each other for the opposite sex, much like the typical males do. And women who don't do that, and thus behave as typical females, often hear remarks like, "Oh, she's so unfeminine." And this is just the beginning, because according to social trends, the role of males in raising the offspring is going to increase. And if men somehow learn to give birth one day, we will have to fight for them. That's the way it goes. This was Like Other Animals. Goodbye.